What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful here with a name you know. You know him as Alan Angels. You know him as Five. But we got him here, and there are some questions that need to be asked, Alan
Yeah.
Angels.
So what do you want to talk about,
Oh,
Sean?
man. There's a lot of things I want to talk about, and I told you off the air, I don't like to be the vulture, like all that.
Yeah.
But I had to hit you up. I really enjoy your work as a performer, even though
Thank you.
even though you single-handedly ruined Kenny Omega's credibility. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I know. It's just how it happens, man. I don't know.
but you got some stuff going on there. The mentions of AEW are now out of your bio. Uh, it had been put out there that maybe your contract was up or is coming up, that maybe you're still going to work on a per date appearance. Can you clarify any of this for us?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the tweet. I kind of put out the tweet. I didn't really mean to put it out as like a teaser or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it. I didn't expect everybody to freak out about it. It was literally just like a normal tweet at first. But then I saw some people like speculating some stuff, and I was like, you know what? My contract's up in a few days. I'm just gonna run with it. So then I turned my screen black, or my profile picture black, and took the AEW out of my bio. And really, I just tried to stir the pot because I just love watching people freak out on
Yeah.
social media. Um, but like people were asking me, hitting me up if I was like okay, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm fine. I just like watching people freak out on the internet. Um, no, yeah. So my contract, I was told about a month and a half ago that they are not going to re-sign me. Um, they did offer me a per appearance, which I decided not to take, just solely based off what I thought was best for me.
Okay.
Um, I feel like there's room to grow more room to grow, I should say, outside of AEW right now at this point in my career. It's nothing against AEW. Um, it's nothing against Tony Khan or like any of the higher ups in the business. It's just it's a personal thing. I feel like me going on the indies and showing people what I can really do and showing people that like I am a good fucking wrestler. Um, I feel like that will raise my stock. And not saying it's impossible to do that in AEW,
Yeah.
but I feel like um, I guess the perception, how fans perceive Alan Angels is just kind of I'm the bottom guy in the Dark Order, and I feel like uh, I can change that outside of AEW. Like I said, it's possible in AEW, but I feel like it would take longer. And on top of that, I never really got to have like a great indie career. I was on the indies for like 3 years, and then I just got lucky and got scooped up. And like as a wrestling fan, being an indie wrestler and like doing cool ass indie shows, like that's the thing I want to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's plenty of places to make money in pro wrestling right now. And that's not to say that I won't be back in AEW. Maybe I will. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. I just they offered me something, and I just felt like it was better for me not to. That's all it was.
So I'm made of questions right now, and that's why we're here.
Yeah,
When is it up, or is it up already? Your
it's
current deal.
up. The last day is June 30th.
Okay.
So technically July 1st, I'll be a free agent, as they call us. So yeah.
And we have seen this sort of unfold over the last 6 months. I know of several talent that didn't have their deals renewed, but are on per appearance deals,
Mm-hmm.
and they seem to like it, but they've stepped up their independent dates as well.
Right.
Another guy we saw leave was Stu Grayson,
Mm-hmm.
a part of the Dark Order. Is there has there been any interaction there of like maybe we'll do a little something on the indies, or are you wanting to like sort of stand out separately?
I'm open to whatever. If anything, I'd like to have a match with him,
Yeah.
whether that be at C4 or wherever else he wants to go. But that would probably be my main thing. If somebody wants to book us for a tag, I'm definitely open to it. I'm not, you see, I'm still wearing the Dark Order
Yeah.
hat, so it's not like I'm kicked out of the group or whatever. I have a New Japan show that it's already taped or whatever, but with Uno where we
Yes.
tagged. So I'm open to do whatever. But yeah, Stu leaving was a big thing for all of us, and I feel like maybe was you know, part of all of it, but you know, I'm definitely open to do whatever with Stu for sure.
I wondered how that went. I mean, I saw him in Toronto before the pandemic. I went up there for SummerSlam, and he and Jody Threat were like the two talent that stuck out to me. I was like, oh my God, these two people are incredible. So that was a shock that he left AEW. And I mean, when I heard that your deal was coming up, I was shocked as well, because every time you've been in the ring, you had these standout performances. I jokingly mentioned the Kenny Omega one earlier, but I mean, that was a breakout performance for you. For a lot of people, they discovered who you were. How did you feel about the reaction to that match, or to those two matches, comparatively speaking?
Yeah. So, well, the first one, obviously, I wasn't signed yet. It was the first time. Well, it was like, I guess, the second show during the pandemic, but it was the first time I was there. It was the Norcross show, so it's literally 15 minutes down the street from where I lived at the time, and I was like, just kind of. So we did the first day, and it went fine, and then that night I was told that I was probably going to wrestle Kenny Omega, and I was like, oh shit, and then I freaked out and just like worked out like all night, because like I just had like some dumbbells in my basement. I didn't have a gym, like all the gyms were shut down, so I just worked out in my basement all night, freaking out. Yeah, no, the perception of the match, I mean, like, everything went great, I thought. You know, everybody on Twitter was super, you know, they felt one way about it or the other. I know I have all my haters out there. It's no big deal. I don't really give a fuck. Like I said, I love watching people online freak out about stuff. But yeah, honestly, like, I owe my career to like 3 or 4 people, and Kenny is definitely on that list. So yeah, and then the second match was even like a bigger deal in my head, because it was in front of 10,000 people or however many people it was, and you know, it was so much fun. And Kenny, we were talking earlier, he's just such a genius. He like gets the business, you know what I mean? He's legit, like, I think one of the best performers of our generation, if not ever. So like, you know, to be in the ring with him twice, it's great.
And what a categorical shift between those two matches, as we mentioned, like between, I think it was at the Nightmare Factory. It wasn't even Daly's place, was it? So going there to doing that big match and going 8 minutes, and you had been in the ring with him a couple times in between, I think, like a couple of tag matches, but I thought that was a great way to kind of acknowledge what happened, but see you in two different spots in your career. I thought that was just wonderful booking and how that was put together. And you also saw the progress in you as a performer in that amount of time. What did you learn during the pandemic that you really carried out of the pandemic? Because I know a lot of people say that they figured out a lot of stuff about themselves and how they worked during that period.
Yeah. So I feel, obviously, I think I became a better performer, but at first it was really hard. And I think it's kind of one of the reasons that I was never put into that upper echelon of AEW guys. Like, I don't really blame anybody in AEW. I more blame myself, because I feel like the first 6 months of me being there, I don't want to say I shit the bed or anything, but like, I don't think I was doing as good as I could be doing. I don't think I was totally ready. And on top of that, the first time I had a match with a mask on, it's so much different. People talk about like some people think that it's not, you know, there's no difference or anything, but wrestling with a mask on is a whole different world. And I was presented with this whole other character that I had to like kind of figure out along the way. Being on TV, you know, figuring out that character on TV is super difficult. And on top of that, being in front of no people, so you kind of have to figure out like what works and what doesn't work without a crowd, which is even harder, because as wrestlers, that's how we know if shit works. You know what I mean? That's how we know if like you're getting over, or like this move gets a reaction, this move doesn't, or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, you kind of have to figure that out without fans. So trying to figure out a new character without that, you know, audience to help me figure out what's working, what's not. I think it definitely hurt me a little bit, to no one's fault but my own. But I think that really hurt me, especially in the first 6 months. And then I feel like once we started getting more of the crowd, more people in Daly's place, and then eventually we started touring, I kind of I figured it out a little better. And then eventually me taking the mask off, I felt a lot more comfortable. But yeah, the mask just wasn't my thing. I see people online talking about they want me to put the mask back on, and I can't. It's not my thing.
How was that? I mean, was that the first time you had worked with a mask?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was the only time the first match that we did in Norcross, the day of the live Dynamite that we taped, me and Vance wrestled QT and Dustin, but we were like Dark Order guys, but we were like we had full body suits. Nobody knew it was us. And so that was actually my first match. That was the only time before that I wrestled with a mask on. So it's difficult. Yeah.
You're talking about working other wrestling companies, indies. I want you to work for the Cincinnati Reds in the bullpen because, I mean, you got an arm on you. We saw it. MJF a few years ago. Come on, man.
I was like, what is he talking about?
You are legitimately, like, if you try out for the Reds right now, you're the setup guy for the closer. Like, you could do it. How exactly does that happen or come together?
We were literally just like, so it was actually me and Lee Johnson, and Lee Johnson's actually the one that made the good throw. I had a real shitty throw. I had like a water bottle.
Oh.
And I threw it like at his feet. I had a real shitty throw. He threw like a cup of water, and it just sprayed everywhere. Yeah. So he had the good throw. I got all the praise for it. So shout out Lee Johnson. But yeah. I don't know. It just kind of, we were just there, and they were like, "Hey, we need someone to throw water at MJF or beer or whatever."
Yeah.
And we were like, "All right, we'll do it."
So you had mentioned working the New Japan tapings, and obviously they've got a bit of a contingent relationship with AEW, but I mean, also they're willing to hire their own people. Is that something you're interested in? And how did that experience go for you at New Japan Strong? I love their brand. I think they do great stuff there.
Oh yeah, it's great. I love it there, man. That was my first time there. I'm super hyped to see it, and like just hopefully, like, you know, that is a goal of mine. So like I said, there's plenty of places to make money outside of AEW in wrestling right now, and you know, they're on my list. I'm willing to go anywhere, but they're definitely at the top of that list for sure. If they'll have me, I'm definitely down for sure.
And when you were, I assume that they just said, "Hey, we got this opportunity for you. We want you to represent AEW, Dark Order," and that. How did that come together?
I just went up to the guy and I was like, "Hey, you got any room at New Japan Strong? I love it. Would love to do it." And it just eventually happened. They just had a spot and it opened up, and hopefully they bring me back. Yeah.
I assume that's Rocky Romero.
Yes.
He is the forbidden door. Everybody talks about,
dude,
like, who coined it. It's always Rocky. It's always Rocky.
Rocky's the best, dude. He's such a cool guy and a fucking great wrestler, man.
He's incredible. I'm so glad we get to see more of him on American TV this year. As well. But man, a lot of how people came to know and love you was from vlogs, between Being the Elite, Sammy's vlog crew, a lot of stuff like that. How important was that for you to connect with an audience? Because, I mean, we have witnessed your social media presence just explode, and it's hard to believe that a lot of it isn't because of that and people getting to see different sides of you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I go to these indie shows and like I'll get A's in the chat chants, and it's like, oh shit, I didn't know this many people actually watch the vlog. It's cool. Yeah, shout out Sammy and the vlog crew, man. Like those guys, you know, they're so willing to just, like, you know, Sammy especially, it's his thing. Like he's willing to just like give me time to do whatever I want. Every week he asks us what we want to do. You know, and he wants us to get over, you know, because we are legitimately really good friends. So, you know, he just wants us to do good, and he wants us to, you know, get over on our own. So yeah, shout out to him, man.
And sorry. No, it's okay. People can see two of me. I'm pretty. But whenever we get that back up and going, I mean, obviously a big part of Dark Order was Mr. Brodie Lee, who unfortunately we lost, but man, those BTE skits like Sue with the papers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Some of that was so endearing, and we watched Dark Order transform from a cult into like a fun social club, and it made it so endearing. Like, how was that adjustment for you guys to go from these heels to just everybody loved you guys, everybody's cheering for you guys, and it wasn't just because of the untimely passing of Brodie. You guys are just likable.
Well, thanks. You know, a lot of it was originally it was John and Alex, and those guys are attributed to a lot of it because obviously, you know, Alex is the guy that comes up with a lot of the ideas. Even to like this day, he's still the guy that's like the idea guy. So you know, good for shout out him. But John, you know, he's fucking hilarious. You know, and Uno funny as fuck too. So you know, those guys, yeah, it was great, and it just started with Alex and John at first. And it just, you know, they brought it over and eventually ended up being all of us. Yeah, the Sue skit, probably my favorite of all time. There's also one where we're in the bathroom and we're just like shoot in the men's bathroom. And we're just all 7 of us or 8 of us, whatever. We're in there filming and it's just so funny. And it's one of those, everybody just kept cracking up laughing and Brodie's in our face. Are you fucking crying? Are you fucking crying right now? So, you know, that's one of my favorites too. So, yeah.
Oh man, Sue was another one. Like the day after, I was like, let me see if I can get an interview with her, and she was wonderful. She was wonderful.
Did you ever get it?
Oh, I did.
Oh,
she ran it by Trent first. She's like, would this be okay, Trent? And he's like, yeah, of course, do it. And she was awesome. I got to talk to her again in the future. She's
so sweet. So sweet.
She's so nice. She's so kind.
Yeah.
But throughout your time in AEW, you still actively worked independence as well. Like, how was that for you adjusting to that too? And I mean, of course, the pandemic changed everything, but sort of coming to normalcy and you still being so young, working to add experience, but still being featured on national TV, that's like serving an awful lot of different things at once, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing about the pandemic is just, it shut down all the indies, all the schools for the most part. Like we couldn't go anywhere. It was hard to even train. So, you know, we're wrestling like once every 2 weeks, if that, you know, and it's like, shit, man, like we get like being in a ring, you have to get your reps in. You have to constantly be going. In my opinion, if you're not, you know, in the ring, like at least twice a week, you know, you get some ring rust that just builds up over time. So yeah, having the indies shut down was it sucked for sure. But eventually once the indies started coming up, you know, and you know, more people started running shows and stuff, I tried to do as many as I could. And there was a time period, you know, these last like 6-7 months where I'm on the road for AEW during the week, and then I'm doing something on the weekends every week of every month. And it's exhausting, but you know, I love doing this shit. Like I love wrestling. I love doing indie shows and I love doing AEW. So I definitely wouldn't trade it for the world, but yeah, when the indies opened back up, that was a big thing. And I felt like I was like really starting to get it going again, you know, cause dude, I get blown the fuck up sometimes in the ring. If I'm not like constantly doing this, like every week, I'll get real blown up, especially in like, you know, 8-10 minute matches, just singles matches or whatever. But I started, you know, I've been getting that back a lot lately. So I'm super hype about that. And I'm ready to just like go on the indies and do some cool shit, have some like 30-minute bangers, you know?
I mean, you and Evil Uno did 20 minutes against Avalon and Ray.
Yeah.
Recently.
Well, it might've been 8 minutes, but you know, they had a 10 minute entrance.
That's fair. But like I love seeing what they do. Like Peter Avalon, I think, is on a per appearance now too, and he's just stepped it up and just done incredible stuff. And you're starting to see how versatile some guys like he are completely outside of AEW, which we knew before because of the Norv Furnham thing and Impact. But I liked seeing that they booked you in a Pure Rules match against Daniel Garcia, because that can be a little bit different than what you're usually working. How was that for you?
Oh, it was great. I love Danny. He's a great wrestler, one of the best going.
Horrible Twitter troll. He's a miserable Twitter troll.
horrible. He's gonna see that I talked about him in this and shit on me. I'm super hyped for that.
When you say something's good, he's gonna be like, "Nah, the dick riding is crazy." That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys to watch. So like, I love being. That was our second match, and like third or fourth time like being in a match together. So, yeah, it was great. I loved it. And the pure rules, like, it's cool. It's different. It's fun, working around that and figuring out creative stuff that you can do in it. So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
To the contrary, I know sometimes you're booked in like 12-man tag matches that go like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. How do you even begin to approach something like that?
Oh, dude, I think the Dark Order is, like, we've done so many of them now. It's just like, let's go. We got this. It's easy. Now we just kind of know, we're like, we would show up every week and, maybe we got like a 8-man squash. We kind of get it now. It's just all that repetition of doing the same thing over and over again. I feel like we're like the best at 8-man squash matches. If there was an award for that, I think we'd win it. So
if Tony Khan did 12-man tag titles, then maybe you would have hung around. Like maybe.
Oh, dude, that would have been sick.
And I mean, like I remember the one. Good God, I think it was Hangman, FTR, the Bucks, and Omega. I think that you all had on. Was it Dynamite?
Hangman, the Bucks. Oh, yes, yeah.
That one was
12-man tag. Yeah,
that was killer. That one. When I looked at it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this might be a mess." And then I watched it, and I was like, "Damn, this match rules." This match is incredible.
Was really fun. That match was actually really fun. All those guys, like being in the ring with all those guys, so early in my career, like, dude, fucking awesome. FTR, they're great. The Bucks are great. Kenny and Hangman, they're great. So, and then Brodie was on our team.
Yes,
and it was great. It was awesome. That's one of my favorite matches. Just like memory wise, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a cool thing to happen because we were all already in the ring and the show started.
Yeah.
The fireworks went off and then as soon as the fireworks were done, we just started going. So it was a cool atmosphere, even though no crowd or anything, it was just fun.
Now, one of the missteps I thought happened with Dark Order was I felt like they should have been more integrated into the Hangman story as sort of like his retribution of learning about friendship and what's important to him and all that. Were you surprised that wasn't implemented more? It was intermittently, but probably not as consistently as I expected as a viewer of the show.
I think we did the best that we could. I think I think overall, if you look at the story, the overarching story of it all, it was a great story in general, especially if, you're a huge fan and you watch the BTEs and all the like small things that we would put in the BTE skits that kind of would link the episodes of Dynamites together and stuff like that. And then even like when Hangman left for the few months that he was gone, and then we had the back and forth, but within the Dark Order. I thought all of that was like some of the best stuff that like the Dark Order ever did. It was so fun, and I think we all got to shine as like individual characters, especially myself. I think it got me out of a little bit, I should say. It a little bit got me out of the bottom of the Dark Order, and I had the whole standing up for myself story and all that stuff. But yeah, I thought, and then eventually Hangman comes back, wins the title. You get the big hoorah at the end of the story. And I think that was a great ending to it all.
Did you ever get to ride the lawnmower and get ice cream?
No, dude, they never let me on there. Yeah, I know. I tried to get on, classic Preston Vance shoving me off.
Man, that feels like we need some finality to that. Like maybe that's long-term storytelling right there.
Maybe I just sneak on the lawnmower by myself and that'll be a BT skit.
That's like your WrestleMania moment is coming down to the ring finally on the lawnmower. Finally happening.
Dude, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
What are some indies that you're looking forward to working? I mean, there's just such a plethora of good indies out there right now, like Prestige, GCW, Black Label Pro, Warrior does killer stuff out there. I'll even say Lariato Pro because I know it's close to Georgia, even though I don't want to put over Gallows too much. He's got that ego. But there's a lot of indies out there right now doing great work.
Yeah, like I said, there's plenty of places to make money in wrestling right now. In the indies, like if you can get a consistent indie schedule, like you can do this for a living.
Yeah.
You know, like believe that. So like, you know, I'm already doing Prestige on a consistent basis. West Coast Pro is a place I'd like to be. The West Coast in general is like blowing up right now. It's a place that I feel like, as far as the indies go, was never a really big deal, you know, except like they had like PWG and stuff like that. But right now it's like, it's kind of the place to be, I think, is the West Coast. You know, of course I've worked Warrior before. Warrior's great. All those places. What else I got? I got Garden State coming up, which is a new promotion, but they got a stacked card. Like they got all kinds of names on there.
I saw some of the people on that show and I was like, how'd you all get, who's paying for this?
Yeah, I'm wrestling Kevin Blackwood that day. I've worked him before in a triple threat match and he's great. So I'm excited for that. Like I said, Frankie Kazarian at the next Prestige show. There's some stuff in the Southeast that I'm doing, uncharted territory and stuff along those lines. I kind of want to just be like the guy on the indies. Honestly, I want to be like I want to wrestle the Mike Baileys and the Alex Shelleys and all those top indie guys. Mm-hmm. And I want to be a top indie guy. That's probably the main goal that I have right now, is to just be like the guy that everybody wants to wrestle. When everybody comes out with their lists of people that they want to wrestle in 2023, I want to be on that list, you know, because I really do think I can be that. I think I am that good. And it's just a matter of showing everybody.
You did work Shelley recently, didn't you? You worked him at Prestige, didn't you?
Yes. It was supposed to be a singles match, but it ended up being a triple threat with Kevin Blackwood in it as well.
Yeah, life comes full circle. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah,
and I know I had seen where Hammerstone was promoting it. You worked him as well, too. He's top guy in MLW right now. They're always interested in picking up people. Is that anything that you've considered, like working for the likes of Impact or MLW, who have a television presence, but, you know, also sign people to contracts?
Absolutely. Anywhere. I'm really willing to work anywhere right now. I just want to wrestle as much as I possibly can. MLW, Impact, New Japan, wherever.
So are you still based out of Georgia right now, or are you somewhere else?
So it's kind of weird. I kind of go back and forth between Georgia and California. My girlfriend, Brooke Havoc, she's a wrestler and she is injured right now, healing. So she's back home in California. Yeah. But it's very possible that I will be moving out to Cali in the near future. But that being said, I am still doing Georgia shows, North Carolina, Tennessee, stuff like that.
Thought you were about to break the news that you were homeless or something.
No,
you're like, it's kind of funny. I'm like, oh no,
it's kind of funny.
He's at the library right now. he's stealing their Wi-Fi. You mentioned Brooke Havoc. How's she doing? I mean, a lot of us were bummed to see that she sustained that injury.
Yeah, no, she's doing great.
A second injury, if I was not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Second torn ACL, the other knee this time. So yeah, it sucks. And she was super down about it, but she's doing a lot better now. She's, you know, jogging and stuff like that. She actually, last night, she got in the ring at West Coast Pro, their school.
Oh, nice.
And she was like running the ropes and stuff. I think she took a few bumps and stuff. So she's actually doing really well. And hopefully she'll be back in the ring, like officially sometime soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I liked what I saw out of her on the Nightmare Factory thing and AEW. And I'm pretty sure she worked Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as well.
Well, it was the one in Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I remember it was Marina, I believe.
Yep.
But I hadn't seen much work outside of that, but it's like, man, she was in these really highlighted positions, so it was good to see her there, and bummer that they're like those injuries happen in such close proximity. But hey, promising news, it sounds like.
Oh yeah. Hopefully she'll be back soon. And you know, I really think it's so crazy. I've never seen somebody get so much clout and have like as like she has had like maybe 10 matches in her whole career, and she has just like so much clout. So
I generally just watch national stuff right now because that's what we review, and like there's so much time. And you saying that, I've seen half her matches then.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen half the matches in her career, if that's the case. That's amazing. Like, when somebody is highlighted in that many places in that short amount of time, you assume that they're more traveled. But hey, look at Deonna Purrazzo. That's what happened with her. She was on Impact on TV in her 8th match, and now she's one of the best in the world right now. So,
yeah.
Is there anybody specifically other than who you mentioned that you're looking to work? Like, I know you worked Titus Alexander recently, who's turning a lot of heads. There's a lot of like really great talent out there still.
Yeah, I mean, like Nick Wayne, who's a guy that he's just blowing up right now. Like, he's fucking great. Trying to think who else. I have a whole list on my phone, but I can't. Shit, man, I don't know. Who all? I mean, like Alec Price, if you know him. He's great. AC Mack, who's the independent wrestling champion. I've wrestled him so many times, but he's always on my list. Davey Richards on that list for sure. But yeah,
he's been looking great lately. He's been looking awesome.
Davey Richards, yeah, he's great. There's a whole plethora of people I can't think of right now, but yeah.
Sure, a whole world of opportunities, and my God, you're what, 24 years old?
24, yes, sir.
You're running out of time. Running out of time.
I know. That's what everybody tells me.
Running out of time. Do you think that you could still be doing it at like 52, like PCO?
Not like PCO.
Oh, sorry, 54. My bad. 54. He's 54.
I don't think I could be doing it like PCO. Maybe if I had like some sort of part-time thing, but I think around 40 is about my limit.
You could do the gosh, I can't remember who all's done it, but the 7 decades thing, like.
Oh yeah.
Because you started like you're still young right now, and we're in a new decade, but you already hit the 2010s and the 2020s. So I think 7 is the record.
7? Fuck, man. I don't know, man. I'm already hurting.
I believe in you. I think you can do it. Tell the people where they can find you. I know you've got new stuff up on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you're taking bookings, of course.
Yeah, taking bookings, Alan Angels booking at gmail.com, or you can just hit me up on Twitter. I just have that there for, to look cool. And I have a few new designs up on Pro Wrestling Tees right now, and I have more coming. Hopefully they come soon, but there should be really cool. I got some really cool designs coming. I'm going to be on a bunch of indie shows coming up, Fight TV, IWTV, all that stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Even though I haven't updated my Facebook, it still says I'm 22 on there, I think. But
just lie.
Yeah, I know I should.
You're like, have you seen that new Adam Sandler movie where he's a sports agent?
Oh yeah, it's great.
And Boban is in it, and he's like, I'm 22 years old. He's got a 10-year-old son. Just leave it that you're 22 forever.
Oh yeah. Great movie, by the way.
It is. It was a lot of fun. He's a better dramatic actor than a comedic actor these days, I think.
Yeah, these days for sure. I liked his old movies, but his comedy, man, is so cheesy.
It got really repetitive, man, and like the accents. Yeah. I wasn't here for all the lame accents and stuff, but like I feel like once every 5 or 6 years there's one that's solid. He's like got one comedy that I watch and I'm like, all right, not bad. Like,
right.
I maybe there was one with Jennifer Aniston a while back that I thought was all right on a boat or something, but other than that,
he's definitely better dramatic actor. Sprinkle some comedy in there.
Yeah, Uncut Gems was awesome. That movie, that movie was dope. But my God, maybe I hope that's what he leans into, because I'm tired of the Adam Sandler comedy. But we're not here to talk Adam Sandler, by God.
Nope.
We're here to talk Alan Angels, and I get the feeling we're going to be talking a lot more in the future. You're going to have a lot of stuff going on, but I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Like I said, I had a few people hit me up, and you were the only one that I was like, yeah, I'll take an interview with Sean Ross Sapp.
Suck it, Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, so hopefully I didn't say anything that would get me in trouble, but you never know. I don't know.
Well, guys, check him out. He's on Twitter. He's on Facebook. It says he's 17 years old on there, but add him anyway. Until next time, guys, we're out. Hey guys, I hope you all enjoyed this interview, but let me tell you how you can enjoy your online experience even more with nordvpn.com/Fightful. Change your virtual location with just one click on all your devices. We'll get that right out of the way. Phone, laptop, desktop, PC, your router, your TV, everything. It's so helpful when you're traveling. You can change your virtual location. Maybe you're abroad, you want to watch all the shows that you're used to, or maybe you want to watch shows a little bit earlier. Maybe you want to buy pay-per-views at a reduced rate thanks to some services overseas. Maybe you want to check out what's on the menu of those other services overseas. But it's not just that. You get that threat protection, block online trackers, block malware, block annoying pop-up ads with nordvpn.com/Fightful, and you get a great deal. Not only do you get a great deal, up to 70% off, you get a month free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. NordVPN.com/Fightful. I use it every day. You're going to love it.